Hi, no. Welcome to another episode of No Boundaries. It's Saturday, the 16th of January. When you're listening to it, this is the first pre-recorded version because schedules got a bit fucked up. Um, Now, because this is the first video I'm gonna upload, I'm just gonna do a little intro, I guess, because the thousands and thousands of listeners that know us on Etiquette Radio, um, yeah, it might not be you. So, No Boundaries, it's a show mostly about music. The title is No Boundaries, a show with music that knows no boundaries, with a host that clearly needs some. Um, so this is a special version again. I mean, it's the first one that we have video, and it's also the first one that we're gonna start a little bit as a podcast, because this is like a special episode in many ways. It's the first episode of 2021. It's gonna be mostly dedicated to MF Doom, which for the thousands of people that have listened to the show, I already did that show, but I didn't know he died. So now we have to redo it. Oh, that was like a harsh one, and it was like fucking New Year's. It's like 2 a.m. celebrating, and like one of my best friends that we're celebrating together just tells me, "Do you want to sit down for this?" Because I've been listening and playing MF Doom all of 2020, like bugging people about it. So yeah, that was a hard one. And also like when I did the show, he was already dead, but we didn't know. Which it's just so many layers to that, man. Anyway, so this we're gonna like start it. We're gonna lead to the MF Doom stuff and the music, but I thought we could start like a little conversation cause Cornelia is back in the studio.
Thank you for that beautiful welcome.
It wasn't. I mean, I can.
Wow.
I was thinking, like, you know, like how MF Doom, like every collaboration is a different villain, and he does like JJ Doom and Mad Villain and how many, a bunch of others that I'm forgetting now. Neruvian Doom. So I thought that like the MF Doom episode could be called Corny Doom.
Oh my god, Corny Doom.
Because you were also a little bit corny, like it fits.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Like you're
right.
slinging the dad jokes.
Shit.
Just constantly. I don't know. No, you have a little like quirky, vintage, corny vibe that has been a little bit extinct for quite a while, but you're bringing it back.
Thank you. It's because of the quarantine, you know. It's because of lockdown.
Yeah.
It went dormant, but I'm coming back.
Nice.
It's coming back to life. Thank you for that inspiration so I can find myself again.
Find yourself again. So, okay, before we get into one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to start with a podcast, which is just my fascination with your dating life and the way that you use technology. I feel like a grandpa, like when because I always like, I don't know, like I always like match with someone and we talk about, I don't know, like jazz, and then they unmatch me. And then I see your matches, like, and the conversations. I'm just inspired as a human being. It's just like lovely to.
Yeah, I'm not so sure you should be inspired.
I mean, and I don't know if inspired is more of an ironic term that I use today. I don't know if I'm actually inspired, but it's kind of nice to. It's like the same reason why I follow Beam Me Up Soft Boy.
Oh my god, this is such a genius page on Instagram.
Yeah,
really.
It's like it should be like Cornelia's field account.
Yeah, I would also say that that's valid. Because I had a very similar incident happen. I mean, actually, all these posts could end up on Beam Me Up Soft Boy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite something.
So this thing that I did the first couple of episodes that I did it kind of like for a corny reason, but it ended up being a lot of fun. It was just like this homage to like old like radio stations, like telling on this day, 1954, the troops arrive, and I'm like, that is just ridiculous. But then I'm like, okay, let me see what happened on this day. So okay, I always just like check for the day that I'm gonna post it, and I checked for Saturday the 16th, right?
Yeah, of course.
This is like this day is every day is amazing. That's what I realized.
But this is special.
Because That's what you don't realize. It's like, because I remember when I was a kid, there was always like the on this day, but it kind of got extinct. And then you forget like how many thousands of ridiculous moments have existed in just like human history.
Yeah.
And there's 365 days. So like there's bound to be a couple of interesting ones.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. First one, okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
1493. Ready. Christopher Columbus leaves the New World and sets sail for Spain.
Oh God.
Just like
just erase that from history, maybe.
Are you just ready for like colonialism? He's like, he went there and he's like, I'm gonna leave this place. Like, we killed everyone. Let me go back to Spain where they have tapas and some nice wine, because this place stinks. I don't like turkey.
Yeah, let me eat some olives. No. Yeah. We don't want to associate that.
We don't want to associate that.
We want to forget about him.
Okay, here's an interesting one. The first edition, this is 1605. The first edition of Don Quixote is published by Cervantes.
No way.
And here's what I realized is this is like one of the classics where I just remember hearing it as a kid. I realized I have zero context. But when I say zero, I thought that it was about a donkey.
Oh, okay.
Because it was like Don Quixote. And it also sounds like a donkey, like Don Quixote. Like, and I was like, I'm sure it's about a fucking donkey.
Whoa.
Is this Shrek? Is this based on Shrek?
You just opened my mind there. I never even saw it that way.
Yeah. Do you know, like, have you read Don Quixote?
No, but they also made, I swear they made a ballet about it.
Star Wars.
No, it was Star Wars.
Oh, no, it could be.
Maybe they should turn Star Wars into a ballet. Can you imagine Princess Leia?
Like, I mean, at this point, I can imagine anything.
True.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you go like to Disneyland and there is like last year, like there is a Star Wars musical.
What?
No, I don't know, but it's so
Are
probable.
you telling me new information?
They've destroyed every classic, so it's like it's not far fetched.
Or they just want to do like 10 different remakes of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. Well, wait.
We're talking about Don Quixote. It's
about
a flying donkey that goes into outer space.
I actually don't know so much about. I mean, I've heard this. Like,
right, and it's supposed to be like
times,
15 volumes, and it's like, I don't know, a guy in a desert with a horse and a weird dude. Like, why?
Horse with no name. That's a.
Is that from Don Quixote?
No, that's Neil Young, isn't it?
I know, but did he read Don Quixote and was that the inspiration? I don't know anymore.
It's like, I found it. I know.
Yeah.
I could ask him.
Okay, are you ready for my favorite one? 1919. On this day, prohibition is ratified. So it's like it's the beginning of the prohibition of alcohol in the United States. So I thought that like in honor, I'm gonna just have a nice sip,
and a nice sip of beer.
Sip of beer.
You do that. I can't do the same. I only have tea and water with me. Very adventurous.
The face of prohibition.
Exactly, I'm in the face of prohibition.
Yeah. I saw like this crazy video where and I spend most of my days in a bar, and I still can't use a stool properly. I saw this video of a couple that bought like a prohibition style house in the like States.
Okay.
And they discovered that it was actually they had like bottles of whiskey stashed everywhere, like the foundations of the house.
What?
So they started digging. And basically, the whole house was surrounded by bottles of whiskey inside the walls and stuff, which also it's a bit of a fire hazard. Like imagine, like if I left the stove on and the house exploded.
Yeah, the whiskey.
Yeah, but they're now probably like, I don't know. They probably made like $500,000 just out of those bottles.
Yeah, crikey.
Of like 1920 whiskey.
I mean, the value of that will be pretty high right now, no?
Yeah, I'm actually. Is it drinkable if it's like bottled? I don't think so, because it's not aged for 100 years. It's stuck in a bottle for 100 years.
I mean, I'm not a whiskey connoisseur, so this I cannot tell you.
Yeah, me neither. I bet. I mean, no one would drink them because it's. Oh. Yeah, it's like it's the same way that like people buy like famous painters and just like. I don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want to touch it. They just want to like, maybe they'll store it in their cellar or something.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Also fun. This is like a continuation of Columbus. It's 1938, the first jazz concert held at Carnegie Hall, which is like a, and there's a picture of a white guy called Benny Goodman, and he's a clarinetist and band leader. And I loved just like the first jazz concert in 1938, the whitest person I've ever seen. Like it doesn't get.
Oh, good God.
Like it doesn't get any whiter than this. Let me point it to the camera just to give some context.
This is.
It's out of focus, but it's the white.
Or just look up Benny Goodman on the internet.
Yeah.
And see.
It's never been whiter than him.
See the face of whiteness.
Also, fun event: the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Oh God, this is
when the
this day.
Yeah, the Japaniards found way into Pearl Harbor and just fucking bombed the shit out of the Americans. But it gets better, because also today, the 16th of January, is the day that Adolf Hitler moves into the underground bunker in Berlin.
Oh God. Wow.
I'm telling you, it's crazy, because it's like every time I look it up, like you're like, okay, this day is the most bizarre day, but it's every day is like that. There's always something like, and here's the fun thing about this is that up to 1940 something, every piece of like it's called like events of interest, because they have like a bunch of stuff that happened. Like a guy named John swam in the Atlantic Ocean for 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, sure.
Well done, John.
Yeah, but like they have this like events of interest, and up to 1940 something, it's all like holy shit moments. After that, you can see like the decline of just like historical value, because what happens is then everything becomes sports, singers, and actors.
Oh God.
Like it goes from like Columbus, Hitler, just like the most bizarre shit ever. And then, and what I also realized is that every day of the year has a Beatle-related story of on this day. Every time I dig in, something happened, and I realized that the Beatles were like, just because they were like vanilla next to all the heroin addicts of that era. Like when you have like the Stones just like doing heroin
drugs every day,
like in front of the audience, and then you have the Beatles like eating strawberries and singing tunes. It's not the same. But
doing acid,
all the events that I've found so far 3 times, they're all about like some of criminal offense that one of the Beatles. So this one is 1980. Paul McCartney is arrested at Tokyo International Airport for possession of marijuana, and he's sent to jail for 9 days before being deported.
No.
Yes.
9 days. So he just basically didn't even get to tour in Japan, or was this like a trip? For
I guess.
A holiday.
He did time. Like 9 days is not.
He did time.
Like 9 days is for a Beatle is the equivalent of a death sentence for like us. Like if you're Paul McCartney, and this is the 80s. Like he's not young Paul McCartney where it's like boy band fame.
Where
he's
can get
like
away with anything.
Yeah, like 80s, he's like considered already like a superstar.
An icon.
Yeah, he's an icon already.
Exactly.
Still spent 9 days in Japanese jail.
But come on, why would you take marijuana with you when, you know what I mean? It's like...
You can find it. Maybe he found a strain he loved.
The power got to his head. He was like, I can do anything.
Yeah, so those were the 5 like little on this day. This is so much. I love this shit.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, like last time there was also something about Hitler, and also something about the Beatles, and they like set like this place on fire, and they had to leave Germany because they set a theater in Cologne on fire.
Oh my God.
Beatles, like you don't assume that it's the Beatles. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, but I mean, they're kind of, I don't know, I get a mischievous vibe from them, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, on the outside, they seem kind of like squeaky clean, but actually there's some depth.
True, it's a lot of like how, I don't know, like comedians always say like the ones that have the cleanest act and like seem the nicest people are fucking monsters, and then the darkest comedians are just like jolly people to be around.
Yeah, precisely. I think
because the Stones were like that's the thing. Like the Stones were like notorious for just doing drugs and destroying property, but they were like you see, they're so nice. The Beatles and like Michael like all those people that were like were the nicest people on the planet make me like. I don't know, some creepy shit. I don't know. It's like Jimmy Fallon, where he's like the most disgustingly fake likable person I've ever seen on television, and he's like a famed just like alcoholic and just like miserable.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's like don't let. That's the key is social image. If it's shitty, your life is great. Yeah, if you're like the nice guy, if you're like notoriously the nice guy and everyone like middle America loves you, you're fucked.
Yeah, there's some like dark depression lurking in you somewhere. You've got like some heavy vices.
Heavy vices.
Heavy vices.
Oh my god.
What was that? Was that sweet poetry?
That was sweet poetry. I realized that a lot of my notes that I have on my phone just like came from you. Like I was on my phone the other day and I had 3 words and like I don't know, I piled up ideas and the 3 words were white guy druid. And I'm like writing a bit for like and I'm like, how did this? And I'm like, oh, Cornelia showed me a guy. He's like, I met he's like a 25-year-old male. He's a druid. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Yeah, he's a druid and he does like some I don't even remember. But just
I can't wait. This like it tells me something, it rings a bell, but like who was it? I want to know who I was specifically talking about.
Yeah, I love hanging out with Cornelia because Cornelia's like one of those people where she's like one of the coolest and nicest people to be around, but she also has the lunacy inside on all like those bizarre white people where you're like, where do they live? Oh, they're like in a squat house where Cornelia goes every week to massage them. It's just like a very bizarre labyrinth.
It's true. I know a lot of different people out of different social circles, shall we say.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, if someone asked me, like, hey, I need a shaman. Your first guess wouldn't be, oh, let's go to this British 30-year-old woman. But she actually has the insight. She probably can get you, like, 15 shamans in a couple of days.
True.
And the ritual will be sick, bro.
I can connect you with my contacts.
I love that.
You'll have a ceremony on its way.
Yeah. Do you? I don't know. Is the druid? Does that ring any bells? Because that was like one of my favorite.
Druid. Oh man.
That was my favorite sentence I've ever heard.
Yeah, no, this is pretty good. Like
a
white guy druid. Was a white guy druid?
He was a white guy. Yeah. Because I remember like showing me this guy who like looks like a Bryce or something. And then he's like, and the only thing that he had, I think on his Facebook, which Facebook is like such a druid thing to have.
No, that's so druid.
You're being like such a druid right now. Fucking shut it.
It's gonna be the new like cool. Wow, you're so druid today.
Yeah, Facebook is gonna become like the platform that only has like aunts, uncles, and druids, and they're gonna just communicate amongst each other. It'll be a lovely little. Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, I cannot remember. Like, parts keep coming back to me where I'm just like, yeah, Facebook, I said something about this guy. I showed you a photo of him, but the story isn't quite coming together.
I'm just happy to know that there's a white guy who considers himself a druid.
I mean, I'm kind of happy to know that this was a source of inspiration for you.
Do we have any idea on like? Because the only thing like are druids. Like historically, like what's the context? Because the only my only reference is I remember like being a kid and watching the show Merlin on BBC, which was amazing. Probably the worst CGI ever on screen. I love it. I love that shit. But so there was a druids there and they were like magicians and shit. It was lovely. It was lovely. Yeah, but like, are they? Because like on that show, everyone was white. Obviously, it's like Middle Ages. But I'm like, I don't know. It's like being a druid, like probably like some African tribe thing, and then just like white people made it.
Oh my! Now this is going into territory that I am not too sure.
Okay, I'm not gonna put you in a corner because exactly, also your friends will be very disappointed in you.
They'll be like, "Why don't you know this history?
You don't know druids? Haven't you read?"
I mean, druids. I want to say I want to link it with paganism, and then like witch doctors maybe more with like African stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but yeah, I am not well enough educated in this field of
Maybe we should
druids.
ask the druid, like, we're doing a podcast on spirituality. It's gonna be super serious, and we're gonna do like a drum circle at the end.
Oh my god, a singing circle.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's all like pretense to get him here, because afterwards it's gonna be a shit show. I just want to talk to a druid. That's like my fantasy. I can quit everything. If I can talk to a druid, it's done for me.
It's like your bucket list is,
Yeah, it's the only item on my bucket list. Like, I don't want to fucking jump off a plane. I just want to talk to a druid. Just get me a druid in here. Oh,
maybe
Jesus.
This will be the next challenge. Oh my god, this could be the challenge of 2021.
Support your local druid.
support your local Paris. Support your local druid.
I love that.
Make them connect.
Okay, let's jump into field. I mean, I talked about field on the Christmas podcast, which is also on the Lazy Eye page on YouTube. Mm-hmm. From now that you're watching it, it is on. It's on. Yeah. So I talked about field a little bit because it's the only app that has worked a little bit for me. I'm also realizing that like at the end of the day, I'm not that sexually driven in like a practical way. I'm very like sexually driven if I'm on my couch, like I'm super sexually driven. But if I have to work for it, I get like I don't even want to go through the trouble if it if it comes with a set of rules. Like I don't know. It's just I don't care that much. It's more of like this idea of the pursuit that I kind of enjoy and get aroused by. But at the end of the day, like I don't know. Like I've never got like there's been a lot of times where I just could have had sex and I didn't. And like I mean I regret them when I'm on my couch.
Damn it! Now it would have been the time.
Yeah, because it's like you have nothing else to think about. You're like, oh, you fucking idiot. But in reality, like I wasn't even like motivated at the time. But I don't know. Like talk to me about your failed experience.
Wow, I feel so exposed right now. So my field experience, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, this is not a confession. Like,
no, it's true, isn't it?
My first round of field. I went through in 1964.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm like in the Catholic Church. You're the priest. I'm confessing to you in the confession box.
Talk to me, son.
Dear priest, forgive me for my sins. Anyway, that's going off into a hole. Anyway, I mean, I found it quite successful. I like it because
it's fun.
It's fun, and also you're on there for like a specific reason. It's like a lot of people are there for, I guess, like kink or sex or like casual hookups. Also couples who want to explore like opening their relationships or having threesomes or I guess anything you can imagine that isn't like vanilla. So I think that's why it's nice as well because people are more direct in a way. There's no like...
Yeah, it's like back to the Beatles, Rolling Stones analogy. It's like Tinder is Beatles and then the Stones is like field.
Yes.
Or maybe even like, I don't know, the Stones or like something else and field is like fucking grunge. Or like
maybe, or is Field Kiss or Motley Crue?
Or like slam poetry open mic.
Slam poetry.
Something like that. Something to that extent.
But yeah. I don't know what to say. It's been successful, but I've also had some quite interesting encounters where people like literally just they start talking to you or they say hey and then you like reply and they just like disconnect from you and I'm like okay what's that about?
I love whenever there's an app where women get treated like men get treated in every other app.
Oh man, yeah,
because it's you can't even imagine like having a Tinder. In one day you can go from being a very like confident whatever, like if you're like heterosexual or bi or whatever it is, like if you're in that range of like a man that is also trying to hook up with a woman, like Tinder will demoralize you to the extent of like, because I think we work like as just like average Joes, if I may. You kind of like work to get past the high school and middle school trauma that you carry,
God, totally.
as far as like confidence and sexuality and most people are not lucky. Like I grew up around like very like sexually liberated people, but most people at my high school still like can barely fucking talk to anyone about their sexuality. It's I don't know. It's kind of very like traumatic for a lot of people because it's this kind of like arena of like fucking this is my dick and this is
totally. It's like
disturbing. So the idea is that you finally get over it in your 20s, and then you're one day on Tinder, and it's just back to high school.
Yeah, and then your self-confidence gets squished.
Yeah, that's why Beam Me Up Softboy exists, because like Tinder's like it's like a I don't know, like Alan Turing's like algorithm, like it's uncrackable, like to fucking figure out how to actually like see someone. It's like seeing someone out of your favorite TV show. It's like I can't believe you're here.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, what are you doing here?
Are we really connecting? Is this a match?
It's very demoralizing. So I love Field because it's like very level playing field. It's like
true.
It's kind of like gender, sexuality have no, like you get to be whoever you want and get to talk. And also I'm getting tired of this thing where like I don't know, like I get connection and chemistry, but that to me is a two encounters thing.
Yeah.
Or a one encounter thing.
Yeah.
Like if there's chemistry and connection, it's either there or it's not gonna be there.
Exactly.
I don't wanna date someone for 2 months to have a sexual, you know what I mean?
No, I mean that's also just like if you're just looking for sex, that's also a total waste of time, you know.
Yeah.
And if it's not there on the first or the second meeting, then it's like game over.
I have amazing friends in Berlin. I'm super happy. I just wanna have a little bit of like a flirting situation. Like I don't want this kind of like baiting to be soulmates on Tinder. It's just like ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And I love like when I talk to like my gay friends and then I talk to my straight friends, which are very minimal, mostly straight women. But like I'll talk to my gay friends, they're like, yeah, and then I'll talk to my straight friends and they're like, she sang you that? Like, you talked about that? Like, what the fuck is happening? Get out of there. And my gay friends are like, oh, that's cute. That's nice. Oh, oh, that's so, like, comforting and sweet. And then my straight friend is just, appalled. What is this? Perverts in Berlin.
Perverts in Berlin.
Yeah. My straight friends are, oh, this is the beginning of a love story. I've never heard anything so mellow.
Oh, God. Love. But yeah, no, fuck, man. Actually, like trying to date women in Berlin is really hard.
Oh yeah.
Like I've been trying for a long time, and I mean, yeah,
it's lovely to see you try.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks for watching me suffer. But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just
that's why lesbians are angry. Like that's why they get the reputation because it's fucking frustrating. Like.
It is. I mean, but also because like I'm into men as well, then I just fall back on this like the pattern that I know. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because dick is easy. It's like an open
say
buffet.
it like it is. Yeah, and then with women, I'm just like, oh hi, and then I try not to be too like, you know, when it's like, damn, how do I? Then I feel like the man in the role. Do you know what I mean? Then I'm just like, hey, how's it going? Like, I'm just like, how do I flirt with you? Like, what do I? I mean, all sorts of things go through my head when I have to approach a woman, and it's kind of freaky.
Yeah, it is like, I don't know, the dating situation is not like, that's why, like, Field is like, were people that I would actually want to date as far as like sensibilities and just, because I don't like this idea of, which I don't know why we still have, but it's just so, it's so much part of culture, I guess, of like, this like apathetic waiting for something like to happen. Is the camera still rolling? What's happening? Okay, yeah, okay. We're back. Yeah, because it's It's a really cool camera, but it has like a limit of.
The memory.
I think what I did is because I have it on like a super like high setting. It takes up so much space that it stops after some gigabytes, which I should have fixed before we started. But as we learn as we go along, people. Okay. Before we go into Doom, and we're gonna split the recordings into two. Like one is gonna be the MF Doom tribute, and one is gonna be just like our little conversation. Okay, I really want to go through a couple of your field conversations because I think it's just like
I have to.
We need to get it out there in some shape or form.
Oh god, there's so many beautiful ones. Which one can I choose? So I just got talking to this guy. He's from Italy, I think.
Oh yes.
And we literally had. This was like on the first day. And I was.
Can I read them?
Yeah, read them. You have to.
Okay.
It's.
Are they screenshots? Do I go left or right?
So they're screenshots. Wait. So actually, there's. So you can start from here.
Okay.
Then you go. There's like 5 of them.
Nice. Okay. Do you have his profile? Because his profile was amazing.
Oh, I do have his profile as well.
Because he said something. First of all, his name is Sexy Lover. I love that.
I asked myself, why did I even like this profile name? Like, come on.
That's why I don't feel bad, because if he also, like, because they said like you can't put your name on field, so you have to put like some like a imaginary name or something, like, or a nickname.
Whatever.
So I love that he went with Sexy Lover, and I'm like, I don't feel bad for Cornelia just because there were so many red flags.
I know.
On his profile, like so many red flags. The only thing I remember is him describing that he can be a very sensitive lover, but he can also ride you like an Italian stallion. I'm like, dude, like indications.
Yeah, I need to work on that, I think.
So, also, Cornelia's nickname is Caramella.
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 Which is Italian and Spanish, actually.
And also invites sexy lover dudes to be like all inappropriate because you're like, caramel. Oh, yeah. I put my dick in your juicy, sweet caramel.
Bonbon. Yeah, like.
Okay, so you go Spanish and Italian, which I guess are like languages you would like to learn or something.
I think so.
And he goes, I know, and I haven't been yet, Caramella. I could be your hot naked teacher. And punish you when you do mistake. I'll be sweet though, 'cause you are too cute. Anyway, your face I think is damn gorgeous.
This accent.
Yes, very beautiful skin and very, very cute face. A lot of emojis as well.
Yeah, so many emojis.
Continues, like this is a monologue at this point. Like there's no back and forth. This is just like going off on a tantrum. You're fucking gorgeous, also with the short hairs.
Which I don't have, but you know.
Yeah, but you always have them like in a tiny little ponytail, and you have that little fringe, so it always looks like you have short hair.
True.
With the short hairs, I love the short hairs. So that means you're a 10 to 10.
I'm a 10 to 10, meaning 10 out of 10.
Yeah, like a very frustrating job. Fucking 10 to 10.
Bloody 10 to 10.
And also, I'm living in Charlottensburg. Like, you're 10 to 10, I'm living in Charlottensburg. Like, okay.
That's just beautiful.
This is what he gets. My imagination is wild and sweet. And then he sends an emoji of a rainbow with 2 clouds over it.
Yeah, I don't get this either. I mean, it's the wild and sweet. I don't know what he means by that.
But your gorgeous face...
He literally says gorgeous so many times.
But your gorgeous face is real. It exists. And I would love cover it with kisses.
I'm like, dude, we've just like literally started talking to each other. This is too intense. But
then you send something where I love that you block your messages because you don't want us to fucking cringe at you, which is it's a good tactic, making him feel like you might have been saying worse shit than him.
No, I mean, I promise you, I was just.
No, I remember. I think you showed me a couple. It was decent. So he goes, Cancer, like Frida Kahlo. So you know I'm very sweet and romantic. Taurus. I don't remember any Taurus love before. That interesting. Such a sexy Taurus, let me say that.
I know, that's the best. We were talking about star signs. He was like, what star sign are you?
And then it gets fucking bizarre. I'm joking. I guess you are working, so I forgive you.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, dude. Like.
Anyway, I was not being flirty when I was telling you. No, obviously not. I found you very, very, very sexy and gorgeous. It's very true. And I really would like to meet you and see how things go. With me, things always go wonderful and wetty. Just this guy is a masterpiece. I always been in love. I candies. I always been in love with candies.
It must be with candy because
with candy.
I mean, caramella is a candy, so.
And Jesus.
I know.
This. I mean, so far it's all ridiculous, but this one's the first one where I had to take a deep breath.
Yeah, you're like. Oh.
And I know you are a very sweet candy in person. Dude.
I actually forgot about this. All these sweet memories coming back to me.
Hey, I wonder now, do you have long hairs now? I saw in some pictures you had short and you looking very cute. Anyway,
I mean, in the space of 2 days, I think he told me I look cute and gorgeous like
that was like
100 times.
That was like the beginning of the conversation.
It's like, I get it. Okay.
And then this is the end of it, I guess, which is, you mean, do you would prefer move on WhatsApp or Instagram? Or you mean I should just leave as contact on the screen?
Oh, yeah, because I told him he was being a bit too intense. I wasn't really digging the vibe.
Yeah.
And then he was like, then he replied with this. And then I think, I was just honest. I was just like, look, it's too much for me. And then he was like, well, it's fine. If you, we hardly spoke. And I was like, dude, we spoke. Like, you literally, like, fucking destroyed my inbox with all your messages. And then he was like, but, if you want to add me on Instagram to see that I'm not a crazy person who eats humans, then you can. Ciao. And I was like, what is your problem?
Beautiful. I love, like, when guys think that, like, them and their dick is like a blessing to the world. Like, exactly. I love it's to me it's like amazing because he goes, I'm being honest. I think you're for real a very bellissima ragazza. So you can so you can improve your Italian. Then up to you. Just my personal experience is don't be shy and close to good things and good people can come to your life. It could open to you a new world. And that's the end of it. And
yeah, it really
fucking amazing.
This
just like,
oh man,
it really has opened up a new world to me. Like it really has. I want to thank him personally at some point. This shit just makes me so happy. I don't know why. It just makes me like weird straight people to me are just like the most beautiful objects to observe.
Weird creatures.
Yeah, because they're like. They have like an amazing lack of awareness,
totally,
which is so interesting. Just to the extent, I don't know, like ignorance is very interesting. Like that's why, like I don't know, like the fucking donkey storming the Capitol, like that is like the best documentary I've ever seen. It's just like fascinating to see people that are out of touch with their nervous system. Clearly, but also just like with general reality. I don't know, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean they're really stuck in some weird bubble.
Yeah, it's like Fantasia world. I don't know, it's like a
and now we're gonna storm the Capitol. Woo! It's really quite bizarre. But also like the like sense of entitlement, or that they are talking to you from like this position that they that they think is right. That is correct. They're like, we are the larger percentage of people talking here.
Here's my favorite thing, which people I don't get how you don't realize that doesn't work. Everyone has gotten a lot of compliments in their life, right? Mm-hmm. Like from cool people, from like exes, from ex-friends, from current friends, from family. You get like really nice things said to you. Yeah. And that's like one of the things like you can enjoy in life is that like if you do some things in a nice way for other people, you get like a lot of like encouragement, and that's beautiful. I don't know how when people decided that copy pasting like it's a review from a magazine to convince other people. Like, that to me is the most cringy thing. Like, yeah, people have said really nice things about, like, I would like so a lot of people say that I'm a very good lover and a very intelligent person. Like, what? Yeah, that might be 100% true. Who told you it was a good idea, like, transmitting that?
I know. It's like, well, you just ticked 2 of the boxes that were like on the list of my requirements.
Thank God. Like,
I know.
Almost like you're gonna ask them, like, oh, can you give me like what is it called, like a recommendation, like a letter of recommendation.
Oh, like, yeah, like a referral. Give me a referral.
Can you give me their phones? Like, you go to like to apply for a job, and they're like, can we have the number of your ex employer so we can ask a couple of questions? Like, a lot of people say amazing. Okay, give me a number. I want to call them.
Yeah, I need proof. I need a.
Jesus Christ, that to me is like one of the most beautiful things to observe. When people do that to me, I'm just like, I don't get why they think it works. It's ridiculous.
But
it's
also,
ridiculous.
I don't know what's worse though, is that the people on the receiving end who actually believe it.
I mean, listen, if you fall for that, it's your fault.
Yeah, because there's some issues there clearly.
I'm not gonna like. But, like, if I tell you, you know, like, a lot of my friends and other people in life have told me I'm quite like a brilliant person. If you take that and use it as information that, like, holds up, that's your. I'm sorry. Like, I would never say that, but just like the idea of, like, if you hear that, that should be red flag. If it's not, I'm sorry, honey, it's gonna be a rough ride.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, nice to meet you. It's gonna be
next 60
fucking crazy.
The next 60 years on this planet are really gonna suck. Because if you fall for that, oh, honey,
you got to pick up the pieces of yourself. Yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but just got to work on your self-love.
Work on yourself.
Wow, the druid's coming back.
The druid's coming back.
The
okay.
druid's coming back.
Okay, before the druid comes back, okay, this was the first portion.
The first serving. Serving.
We're giving you 2 shows. The first portion is over, and now we're gonna do the second portion.
What's the second portion? It's like really good dessert.
Yeah.
But this was also not like, this is also good dessert, but
yeah, it's like this is gonna be like coming for the second time. It's a bit. It stays with you a little bit more.
Yeah.
You can you can go to the kitchen and have a glass of wine and smoke, because there's no. Yeah, it's like the second one. Now, like, you've gotten a lot of evil out of you. The first one is kind of like halfway through.
Exactly.
Second one is when you get the.
It's like you're
out.
You're fully cleansed.
Yeah. Back to the druid. Okay, so this was No Boundaries, part 1, and. Yeah, so we're gonna upload our MF Doom tribute, just 2 white folks, just a couple of whiteys, a couple of honkies in Berlin, paying tribute to MF Doom. So yeah, thank you for watching or listening, and
thank you.
Yeah, it was fun.